going back that it's not just a message for them, it's a message to all of us as well. But I thought about rooted. You know, we think and we hear, if you've been in church very many times in your life, you hear about being rooted and grounded in your faith, in your beliefs, and you know, I want to take that just if you got your Bibles in Psalms chapter 1. Psalms chapter 1 verse, we're going to read 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to talk about these verses and what they mean. It says, "Blessed the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper." You know, that's a message that speaks volumes to all of us, really. To not surround ourselves with people that are ungodly. It tells us there, doesn't it? Not to surround ourselves with people that could influence us to do ungodly things, to not let opportunities pass us by that God gives us to praise and glorify His name. You get to thinking about these big sequoias. Anybody ever seen how big these sequoias get? They're huge. Their roots off of their trees go several feet into the ground and spread out for long ways. And they've got multiple avenues to get nutrients and water. And I thought so much about what one of the graduations, I went to 2 or 3 this week, but one of them was talking about how that we rely on our support system, and that's where our roots are. Our taproot. Does everybody know what the taproot to a tree is? That's the main one, right? That's where the main things happen. If you cut into that taproot, a lot of times you'll kill that tree. And that taproot for us is connected to God. You don't believe that? Scoot away from Him just a little bit and see what happens. Our taproot is God, but we can't just live by that taproot alone. We have to have support, don't we? Sometimes those roots that go out onto the ground are the supporting roots for that tree that gives it stability. And those roots that scatter through the ground, into the ground to give it a good hold, is our family. And not just our immediate family, but also our church family. And also in those roots, you think about the Bible, and it tells us to study day and night. That's what it said, right? To meditate on the Word day and night. You see, there's far too many chances, and I talked about it this morning, for the devil to whisper in our ear and lead us astray. We definitely don't want to be like a tumbleweed. Do you know why tumbleweeds blow? You see them that's gone loose, you know, and you see them all in the Western movies, how they blow across the old nasty, dusty street. Do you know why so many of them can blow away?
They're not grounded.
They've got one root. They've got one root in a tumbleweed when it starts out. That's it. So when the storms come at it and the winds blow and howl, it's very easily plucked up because it's not very deep. It's very shallow. And that one root can't sustain it through the pressures that it's sustaining through its life. Guys, that goes the same way with us. If we just plant one little old root down, when the storms of life come, when the seas rock, and all those troubles and trials start our way, if we're not troubled, the devil can easily pluck us up and blow us wherever he wants us to be. And what happens when that root is unattached? It starts to die, don't it? When that root can't get the nutrients, can't get the things that it needs to sustain life, which for us in life it's this, and God and our family and our church family and people that we surround ourselves with, that can be a scotch for us to keep us going down that straight and narrow path. Because it's all too easy to slip back. It's easy to just give up, isn't it, sometimes? It's easy to just give up and stop. But when we plant those roots deep in the ground, when we get those nutrients that are needed to sustain life, to make us function, to help us along our path, to whatever it is that we need, God's got the answer for us, don't He? We know that, right? If you could ask anybody in this room who looks out for our best interest and knows all the answers to the questions in life, I believe everybody could say God. But the problem is we don't want to take time sometimes for those roots to get settled in that good firm ground. Or we don't allow them to get settled. We want to keep them shuffled around a little bit to keep everybody guessing. Sometimes we can get too big for our britches, can't we? Has anybody ever heard that term? You get too big for your britches? I've got a couple of kids that's getting that way. I was getting that way for a while. Literally. But we can get too big for britches. You know what I'm saying when I say that? We think we know more than what we really do. And unfortunately for you guys, and this is going to sound just like us as parents, so just take it in. I'm not your parents, so you can listen to me. There's going to be choices that you're going to have to make coming up. Just like Melissa said to me, you've got some big choices. And it doesn't matter if you're going into the working world. It don't matter if you're going into college or if you're going into high school. You're going to be faced with some difficult decisions. The devil's going to throw everything in the world, and this goes for the whole church too. The devil's going to throw everything in the world at you guys to try to create a stumbling block. Whatever he can grab and throw, if he can jerk that taproot loose, if he can jerk any of those side roots loose, he'll do it. Because his job, and he's good at it, his job is to seek out and destroy, ain't it? To tear down, to kill, steal, and destroy, to leave in ruins. That's the devil's job. And he's good at it. He's had years and years of practice. But the thing I'm saying is keep that root system strong. Whether it's rooted in your church. You know what it means to be rooted in church? Anybody want to take a guess at my thoughts of what it takes? Might want to jump in my head? It's a scary place to be. To be rooted in church means you have to be dedicated to it. That means when I don't feel like at times and well, we'd rather have a cookout time or all those times come about, you can look up and say, hey, give me an hour, I've got to go to church. You know, that's where those roots get down into that deep soil, where they grab a good hold, and when the storms of life come, you've got that hold. You've got that affirmation that Christ is right there with you. He's holding on from the bottom. And He's not going to let whatever that storm is in life pull you out, knock you over. It may lean you a time or two, but if you've got that good root system, you've got that strong root system, it'll hang in there. Let's not get too big for our britches. Let's plant our roots. Parents, this is what you're going to do. I'm going to talk to you, and you can remind me of this in a few years. You've got to be there for them. You've got to be there for them, because where else are they learning stuff in life? It's what they say you do. So many times we fall short. But if we show them that we're trying to do good, if we give them a good godly example for their lives, if we show them where to tuck in those roots, where to bury those roots, if we show them that we're rooted and grounded, they'll be inquisitive about how they can get that way too. And church, for us, all these youngsters graduating high school and going on and all that and moving away, we're here for them too. That's our job. That's part of the root system as a church family. And just because you move away don't mean you lose your family. It just means you have to holler a little louder to talk to them. Guys, I'm proud of you. There's 4 of you here that graduated from something tonight. 1 from 8th grade and 3 from high school. I'm proud of you. That's an accomplishment in itself. I brought this Bible tonight because that was a gift. When I graduated high school, I didn't realize what a gift that was. I didn't realize that that was a sword for defense. That it was comfort in times of trouble. That it was a shield to protect me when I needed it. This Bible was given to me on graduation night. Just remember, when times get tough, times get rough, He's always there. We're always here. There may be times in your life that you feel like that you can't get hold of Jesus, that you're in a spot that you just can't hear Him, that you just can't talk to Him. That's why we're here. That's the reason we're part of that root system. The Scotch behind you and say, keep on. Keep on. It'll be all right. Keep pressing forward. I'm proud of you. I'll sit down and get out of the way and we can go about the night. Yeah. Wow.
I remember a story one time, I'm not going to preach, but I remember a story one time about a sailor on it. He had entered the military, and they put him on a little boat that actually went around the island. One night there was a storm coming, and captain over the ship hollered to secure everything. And he was out there trying to secure everything that was on that ship. He stayed out there a little longer than what he was really needed to, and the winds got up, and it was just tossing that ship everywhere in the world. And there was a pole there in the middle of that ship, and he reached around and just locked his arms around that pole. And boy, when that wind blew and everything, he could hear the cracking and the popping of that ship, and he thought just any minute that ship was just going to explode, just come apart. There were several things in his mind about turning loose and trying to make it inside or whatever, but it was within himself. He just thought he'd just hold on anyway. And he sat there and held on. His hands had come numb, and the ship was still just cracking and popping. And he held on, and directly the storm went by. And the whole moral of the story is that no matter what comes at you, whatever, you must hold on. Storms come, hold on. Trials come, hold on. Temptation comes, hold on. And like Micah said, I'm not adding anything to the message. Good message. We all need that, don't we? All need that. Be anchored. I told the story, I'll tell this, Micah, a little bit. Did you ever get down and out? Sometimes you're sort of down and out and you don't know what to do and you're discouraged and whatever. And I went over to around Muddy Pond. There's a little bitty creek there, and I pulled off, and then I preached on this subject a time or two about the tree that was out there. Water, it was in the spring and summer, and the water nearly dried up, and I could look, and all the trees were just, leaves were just crumbled nearly. But that one tree that stood there in the water was just sticking way up, and the leaves were just green and pretty and whatever, and I thought, boy, that tree sure looks good. And I looked down the tree, and the water washed out under it a little bit. But the roots had come out, and they run the ground plumb out to the middle of that stream. And all the rest of them were dying, but that roots was out there in the middle of that water. And anyway, I went to the other side of the bridge, and I looked down, and there was some kind of animal. I still don't know what it was. But it was running the banks of that creek. And he'd run and over the logs, and it seems like it moved so swift. And you ever see anything that was smooth? Just moving. You ever see anybody that actually run or play sports or ride a bicycle or whatever? You've seen them, it was just as smooth as silk. Well, whatever that animal was just as slick as could be. He'd run out the log, down the log, back under the log, over the top of the log. And I looked down the creek just a little bit, and there was a big old snake. He was sitting there coiled up. He was sitting there, and directly I seen him raise his head back. You know how you want to holler? And I thought, well, it won't do no good to holler. I mean, I got to look out and holler, animal, look out! But that wouldn't do a bit of good. He wouldn't know what I was doing anyway. But he was going down the creek, and he got there, and he went over this log, and when he did, that snake struck at him, and he was so swooped. You know, everybody know what I mean, swooped? That animal just jumped plumb out of his way, and that snake missed, and he came back, and that animal just still in the same motion just went on down there as far as I could see. He just smooth as silk. And that's the way life is if we put God in there first. He root and ground, like Micah said. And the devil throws things at us. We could dodge it. It's just like the old serpent. The devil, he tries to block, but if we're smooth in the Lord, that we can dodge those serpents and things. So, all right. Anybody got anything you'd like to say?